The drum of war. We don't want war. We don't want war. Who can stand war? We want something better for our youths. We should better use them for something good other than shouting war and anarchy. We don't want that. And to the glory of God, we told Mr. President that, and he's on the same page with us. And I find all the things that are happening in Nigeria that the politicians should be very wary and careful so that we won't throw things out of proportion. We should make sure that things are right. Mr. President has actually given good directives with all the security chiefs, especially the IG. They will visit each and every traditional rulers' palaces that are very sensitive in Southwest. With immediate effect, he's going to give that directive. We need to work very closely with them and every other security agencies in the country. We all must put them to use now. It's very important for us to put them to use and work with the locals. It's very important so that we can separate the corn from the chaff. We shouldn't keep overhyping it and saying what is next is war. No. We know what Mr. President has been saying about southwestern part of the country for a long time, the peace and peaceful coexistence in Southwest. We still want to keep that. We don't want any war to happen. We don't want any attrition. We don't want any anarchy. So that's the reason why I came to discuss with him. And another thing that he assured me before leaving, which I will go and give back to much more experienced traditional rulers in Southwest, which I've mentioned their name earlier, and even our leaders across board, that he has assured that he will say his own side of the story about Ruga, because he wants to let the world and Nigerians in particular know the true side of the story, because it's being read out of context. So we should give him that opportunity to speak on his behalf as the #1 citizen of the country. And what is important for me is our youthful exuberance nature of our youth in Nigeria, for them not to take laws into their hands, go into all those places and start to kill and maim. We don't want that. The drum of war is getting is resonating too much, and we are very worried.
But Your Highness, you are quoted as saying that the Southwesterners should defend themselves. Don't you think that would be misconstrued as also a drum of war?
No, that's because I just mentioned to you that it is real. We have wrong people in our midst. So when we have wrong people in our midst, how are we not going to defend ourselves? That's why I came here. That in terms of defending ourselves, we need more federal government apparatus to support us to defend ourselves, because we don't want to be defenseless. It's very important. It's about the mission of defending ourselves that I'm here. We need reinforcement from federal government, and I've just mentioned to you that the president has said he will give directive immediately with the IG to go and see every nook and crannies of traditional institutions in Southwest, and that will probably extend across the entire country, because he mentioned to me that he worked in Northeast and North Central, discussing and working with the traditional institutions. So for us to defend ourselves is for me to come here to meet Mr. President, for us to have proper reinforcement.
So now what role do you hope to see from new traditional rulers in the area?
We understand our territory more than anybody. We understand our territory so very well. I'll give you a simple example. Ideally, Ikubabaye should talk about this. Yeah, but he has a very beautiful model. Alafin of Oyo, working with a lot of local security people and trying to fish out the bad ones. And he's been handing them over to the police for them to do proper prosecution. So it's a very beautiful model. The same thing along Ife and our environment. We want to try and all work together. What is important is everybody in Southwest particularly right now, we're all on the same page. We don't want war, and we want to work with government to defend our land.
Rwanda suffered and is still trying to come out of its own genocidal crisis. What do you say to this stigmatization of one Fulani against the entire country?
Well, it's not about stigmatization. Like I mentioned, it's about separating the corn from the chaff. A lot of them have mixed up with the good ones. We are not saying all Fulanis are bad, but the bad ones, and it's not only about Fulanis. It's not only about them. It's about the bad miscreants that are even hiding under the name of Fulanis. We want to try as much as possible to work with the government right now. They have all the security apparatus. They are meant to defend us, and that is what we are looking up to now. We have to stand up and meet Mr. President, and he has given a listening ear, and you will see a lot of results going forward, and everything will come down by the very special case of God.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Kabir, sir.